Alright, this is Ken Roosevelt, and we're going to talk about weighted mean tabular data. Specifically, how to find the weighted mean of tabular data. I'm showing off a little here because I got a new laptop and I'm happy about it. So there we go. And what your textbook says on page 123 is we find the weighted mean of a variable x by multiplying each value by its corresponding weight and dividing the sum of the products by the sum of the weights. And that seems clear to me. However, it might seem a little abstract for you. So what I'm going to do here is, by example, I'm going to demonstrate what that process entails. So a common place where we see weighted averages, or one common place, I'm going to show you another one after this, is from grade point average. Okay, this person here is taking English Comp. They're taking psychology or intro to psych. They're taking biology 1, and they're also taking PE. English Comp is a 3-credit class. In it, it says they got an A, which is good because that's worth 4 credits. Or not 4 credits, 4 points. Sorry, 4 quality points. And this is a 3-credit hour class. In Intro to Psych, they got a C, which is unfortunately only worth 2 points for that 3-credit class, so 2 points per credit. Biology has a lab. It's normally worth 4 credits, not 4 points. Let me correct that. Where's my eraser? The eraser, there you are. So we'll get rid of that. So biology is, they got a B, which is worth 3 grade points, and this is a 4-credit class. And lastly, phys ed, they got a D. That's only worth 1 point for that 2-credit class. So how many points have they actually earned? 4 points per credit times 3 credits is 12 credits here, or 12 points. 2 points per credit times 3 credits is 6 points. Then we have 12 points and 2 points. And when you add those up, that's a total of 32 points earned. But what is their GPA? 32 points divided by 3, 3, 4, and 2, 12 credit hours taken. And you know 12 times 4 is 48, so to have a 4.0 they'd need 48 up here. To have a 3.0 they'd need 36. To have a 2.0 they'd need 24, and this is in fact a 2.67 is their GPA. So that's that. That's an example of a weighted average. Another example of a weighted average is found in the example of credit cards or savings accounts. Whether you are paying interest or earning interest, your interest is always calculated based on the average daily balance in your account. So let's say that your billing cycle begins on the 1st of July. And at the beginning of the billing cycle you owed, we'll say, because this is a credit card, $200. You sent the payment, let's say 2 weeks after that, and the payment was for $75. But in the interim, maybe you spent, let's say you spent $50 here, and maybe $140 there. So the question is, when your next billing cycle comes up, how much do we add here in interest? What amount do we need to put there? Assuming that you have like 18% or 17.99% interest per year, that's 1.5% interest per month, which would mean whatever your average daily balance is for this whole month, we would multiply that by 0.015, and that would give us 0.015 times your average daily balance equals the interest charge accrued for July. Okay? So sorry about how messy my writing is. Okay. How do we go about doing that? Well, it's a average daily balance. And the one way of doing it would be to take your balances from all 31 days. So you'd have a data array of 31 individual balances and calculate it by adding up all 31 of those terms and dividing by 31. However, that's kind of a long way to do it. If you start the month with a $200 balance, your balance continues to be $200 until you spend some money, and then it becomes $250. It stays at $250 for a while, all the way up to here, where it becomes $175, and it stays like that for a while, up to right here, where it becomes $315, and then it stays at $315 until finally, on the 1st of August, they add your new charges on, and that'll be your balance going into the next month. So what you do to calculate your average daily balance is you go the balance times the weight. The weight being the number of days you carried that balance. So we carried a $200 balance for 5 days. So we multiplied by 5. We carried a $250 balance for 9 days, it looks like, because this would be 1 week there plus 2, so 9 days. We carried a $175 balance for 11 days and a $315 balance for 6 days. I'm going to add these up. 14 plus 11, 25 plus 6 is 31. And that should be the case. And the sum of our weights should equal the number of days. So I'm good there. Now I want to take the sum of all these products and divide that by 31 to get the ADB. So that's 1,000. 250 times 9 is 2250. 175 times 11 is 9, 3, 5. Is that right? I don't know. Let's check. 25. No. Yeah, 25. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. How would I have a... okay. And then lastly, 315 times that, 1890. So, you add all these up. You get the sum. Divide by 31. You multiply that by 0.015. And that is how you would calculate your interest charge for that month, which we would add on to 315, which would give you your new balance. Not sneakers, but credit card balance. Alright, so that's another example from real life of a weighted mean. Okay, let's do the easy example they give you in Alex. They asked to find the average score given 37 students who took a stats test, and here's a summary of their grades. So I guess the grades worked on a 10-point scale, and 9 students got a 90, 16 got an 80, and 12 got a 70. So what we have here is 810 plus 20 or 1280 plus 840, which is, did I add that right? Yeah, I think so. 19 or 9, and that's 17, 19, 29, 30. And then we would take that sum and divide it by 37 students in the class, and that would give us our average for the class. Let me just double check my calculations here. 0, 9, 13, carry the 1, 9, 11, 19, carry the 1, 29. Yeah. And I'm not going to actually do 37 goes into that. How many times? I don't know. But that's how it's done. And that's how you find the weighted mean of tabular data. Tabular. You say tabular, I say tabular. You say potagular, I say potagular. I know, I'm corny. That's why I teach math. Okay. I hope this was helpful. Have a good day.